Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all good? I hope so. Y'all listen. Let's talk about Shaniece and Game. So they interviewed him over there on their Drop the Low podcast, right? So I just want to talk about a few things that stood out to me. So Game said that when Shaniece told him that she was pregnant, he was shocked. He said that he doesn't think that his reaction is what she wanted or was expecting, and she cried a little bit. But he said he was just thrown off, but he wasn't trying to make her feel like he wasn't excited or that he didn't love the situation, because he absolutely loved his children. Now, loving your children is beautiful, it's amazing, but he was not expecting her to get pregnant. Now, I don't know why, especially if they weren't using any measures to prevent it. So, I don't know why he was super shocked, as he said, but you can tell just off his response that her getting pregnant was not in the cards. That's not what he was thinking was going to happen. But he said that he's ecstatic that Shaniece is Blaze's mom because she parents with such grace. And he knows that being him, he's wild AF. And he knows that as long as the baby has Shaniece and Evelyn, the baby gonna be straight. Basically, y'all the parents, because even in their conversation, he said, when I pop in and out, and Evelyn says, yeah, I talk to him every day or every other day. I FaceTime him all the time. You see the difference? Okay, so then Shaniece says, I'm sorry, but I feel like you manifested, Blaze. So he says, yeah, but it wasn't a yeah like, yeah, I prayed for little man. It was like, yeah, keep going. I'm trying to see where you're going with this. She says that Game was mentioning another child before she got pregnant. And he said, true. So she says again that he manifested Blaze. Then she said, on our first date, you were talking about a Blaze, not him exactly, but you were talking about a Blaze. Then she asked him if he agreed with that. He said he did. Then she says, because we talked about kids. This man said, just so you guys know, you're beautiful women. Men see a baddie, they're like, hey, I'll get her pregnant. Shaniece said, so you gained me? Bingo. There you go. The prize go to Shaniece. His response was, when a man really sees a woman he likes that's a baddie, that be your first thought. I have a baby by that. And listen, in my opinion, Shaniece has always come off a little dingy, a little turtle. Because, ma'am, this man just basically said you are a baddie, and he was like, he can mac that. And you ended up getting pregnant. That's it. That's all. To me, she was trying to make him feel the way that she felt about the pregnancy and the situationship. And what she thought it wasn't. And then they get into the conversation where Evelyn brings up the ladies trying to weaponize Shaniece and Game's situation against her on the show. And she wanted to know, how did he feel about that? And Shaniece says, they called you a felon. He hunched his shoulders and he was like, then she says, are you a felon? And he says, I am. Baby, the look on her face, like she was shocked. She did, ma'am, how is it that you did not know that Jason was a felon? Were y'all just hooking up? Because with the type of questions that Shaniece was asking him during that podcast, it's like they were just meeting each other for the first time. Why don't you know these things if y'all were in a relationship? When you get to know a person, you spend time together, stuff like that. And even if you didn't do that, there's the internet. Then they got into the co-parenting conversation. He said that his authority would kick in around kindergarten. From kindergarten to the age of 10 is when he will set in stone who's in charge. Basically, he said he's going to instill the fear in his son of don't play with daddy, basically. So Shaniece, she was just looking. Then she says that the relationship didn't work out the way she imagined it. She says she's not the one to be friends with an ex, but she feels like that's how God set it up. That's how the universe worked it out. Her situation with Game is now for life because they have a baby together. And even with her saying that, I still feel like Shaniece was expecting more out of that situation. It's like she was expecting something long term. Maybe they become this family. They either together forever, they like life partners or marriage. She was expecting more than what she got. And there were times in the conversation that you can hear her getting emotional. Even though when she talked, it sounded like she cried anyway. But there were moments in that conversation where you could tell that she was getting emotional. She would look away, and then I think Evelyn could pick up on it too, because she would jump in and kind of change the topic. And one thing I wish they would have did, I wish they would have gotten into how Shaniece and Game met. Like, how long were they together before she got pregnant? And did they talk about a future? Because when Shaniece said, well, we talked about this, and when you hear Game's response, it's more just like a general conversation, right? I don't know. Because just listening to the podcast, they were in that situation for two totally different things, in my opinion. And I don't know, when it comes to Game and Evelyn, by them both being a Sagittarius, they just vibe off each other way better than Game and Shaniece. I don't even know how Shaniece ended up over there with him. And I know a lot of people were pointing out how Game was more conversational with Evelyn versus Shaniece, and the way that they took the picture that they have on the thumbnail, how Game is leaning towards Evelyn versus Shaniece. You can tell that they have a better connection. I don't know what it is, but I'm still trying to figure out, how did Shaniece even get involved with him? Because, ma'am, you don't even seem like you knew who he was, but you ended up getting pregnant by him. And you could say all day it was God, it was the universe. You could say that all day to make yourself feel better, but I still feel like she was expecting something more in that. She did say there would be a part 2, so I'm interested in hearing what the part 2 would be about. And also, I noticed that when Shaniece would ask about his other kids, she would say the mother of your kids. But when Game would refer to Shaniece, he would say my baby mama. Even though Game and Tiffany, they were never married. I know they did the marrying the Game, but Tiffany like, hey, no, whatever he doing, I'm not fit to play these games. And so they didn't get married. So I thought that was interesting as well. So I don't know, if y'all saw it, get down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought about that. Like, do y'all think Shaniece knew what she was getting herself into? And how do you know? This is the Game. Like, everybody, he named everybody that knew that he was a felon. My folks know, my friends know, my fans know. How did you not know? Which is not that big of a deal, but the fact that you didn't know, and then you're gonna say, when she asked him, well, how many felonies do you have or whatever, and he's like, and she's like, well, Blaze is gonna ask. Ma'am, you the one who should have been asking. Why you talking about Blaze gonna ask? Girl, please. Yeah, y'all get down in the comments and let me know what y'all think, and I'll talk to y'all later.